Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a video today, harsh truth about men that will save you years of your life, by a channel called Lisa Glamour. I'll put the original video in the description if you want to put pins in your ears and go and watch it without my ranting making it bearable. Let's jump straight into it.
Hello my beautiful darlings, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today we're going to talk about harsh truth about men that most women should know. Honestly, most women grew up watching fairy tales where you see the Prince Charming, and if you are lovely and loyal and gentle, then the right man will love you and cherish you and treat you like a queen, right? But the truth is, this is not how men work. Most women don't know how men...
That actually is how most men work. The women want to overcomplicate it, and she's going to go on to give a whole bunch of toxic advice. I don't use that word lightly. I actually don't like that word toxic. I think it's very much overused. But I'm going to say these coaches are literally sabotaging their viewers. As you can see here, massive grift going on here. She's gone and got herself fully dolled up to look like some sort of exquisite high-value woman. She's got the cheaper dividers from Temu there and her little set. She's probably not living this kind of life. This is not who she is. She's probably walking around in tracksuit pants when she's not on the camera. It's just the biggest grift ever. But these people get huge on YouTube. She's quite large, almost 300k subs.
Communicate how men work, how men function in their brain, which is completely different from us. We have different way of dealing with our emotions, complete different way of communicating, and even different needs and wants in relationships. Today, I'm going to tell you the truth about men that nobody prepared you for. Not to make you bitter, but to make you powerful, so that you know how to present yourself in the dating market or in your relationship. These are the harsh truths that high-value women know and accept. High-value women know that knowledge is power. So if you want to know more, keep on watching. But first, just wanted to let you know that if you want to see more of my content, I talk about fashion, femininity, old Hollywood.
Why would you want to watch this? Absolute grift. All right, let's jump into our first point. So it's a woman who's been carried her whole life by more or less simps who will bend over backwards to give her money and provide her with this lifestyle. That's all this is, if it is even real. It's just like she's at a shopping centre or she's walking to a hotel somewhere. And as I said, a lot of these people have very fake backgrounds and they grift their audiences. As I said, these ones can be quite insufferable.
With loyalty, they fall in love with value. You can be loyal for men for years, but loyalty alone doesn't make you irresistible. Men actually deeply fall in love with women that will make them feel like they won a prize. That is why I'm saying you can become a prize in my Femme Fatale Siren course, because this is what they want. They are competitive. They want to be the winner. And it doesn't mean that you need to look like a supermodel or anything. You need to be a prize in his eyes. But if they didn't earn your presence, they won't treasure it. Number 2, men treat you based on how you...
All right. That is probably the most backward advice I've ever heard. It's just... men don't fall in love with loyalty, or men don't respect loyalty. No. Loyalty to men's are probably one of the... Loyalty and honour are probably the biggest two values that men have that most women will never have. The majority of women cannot be loyal for long term. They cannot have honour, integrity for the long term. They might do it in the short term. Let's talk about this. What would you rather, guys? Would you rather be running around, chasing around some overly manufactured woman painted with clown paint like this? Or would you be more open to treating a woman well who may have gotten with you when you were at the absolute bottom of your life? You know, there's no further way to go down, but she stuck with you while you clawed your way out. I can tell you what I would go for. Wouldn't be someone like this. It'd be that person who they saw the real you. They saw your struggles. They saw you crawling through that mud. That's how you can trust someone, and men will very much value that. These women don't have a loyalty. Most of them will not go through the mud with you. They will love to be involved in your life while things are going well, when they feel like they can get something out of you, that their lifestyle is to be increased. Majority will bail Maybe not immediately, but if it goes on for a couple of months or a little bit longer, you might have lost a job. You might not be able to continue that lifestyle that you had. You have to, tighten the purse strings. You may have health issues, may not be able to work. Whatever it is, gone. Gone. There are countless stories about it. I know guys who have had that. I've seen it happen firsthand. So loyalty is something which does not come easy to women. And if a man can see a woman actually demonstrate that by being with the dude, as I said, crawling through the shit, he's going to take that any day over this. I don't know why guys go out and chase women like this. I've never been into one. That's why I've always said my target market was like just average girls next door, not this done up, fake hair, fake face. Take everything off her, put her in a pair of tracksuit pants and a t-shirt from Kmart and see how good she looks. It's just average girl. She's not even that good here. She completely painted. But guys chase these. They think that's the high value because they fall for the same bullshit as well. If they do themselves up and they dress nice, while in complete debt, complete basket fire, in a basket case, dumpster fire, burning bin, burning rubbish in there. That's their life. But guys will still chase them because they may appear to look good. It's absolutely bonkers.
Treat yourself. If you constantly tolerate disrespect, abandon your boundaries, downplay your needs, he will treat you exactly like that. If you don't believe that you deserve respect, and maybe it's unconscious, maybe you're people pleasing unconsciously, then he will also not respect you. A man subconsciously mirror exactly how you see yourself. So even if you have no quality at all, and I see that constantly, okay, they're not nice, they're not kind, they don't have any qualities, they're not elegant at all, they don't treat people with respect, they're very disrespectful, they're kind of trashy in their behavior, but because they believe they are so worthy and they're so valuable and their time is so valuable, then other people believe that too. And you have the opposite. You have some women or some men even that have extremely amazing qualities, and because they don't believe it or they don't showcase that in terms of their behavior, their boundaries, then people don't believe that as well. Even salesmen.
So what's she even saying? She's saying to be a completely fake person, completely delusional, give across this fake perception and image of being a high-value woman. I can tell you now, any guy that can have options, any guy that can get women, any guy who's had experience with it, is not going to, number one, chase one like this. Number two, he's going to see straight through that act. He's going to see it's painful. You're painful to deal with. You're expensive. I don't want to take you on all these dates. I don't want to take you on 10 dates. I don't want to pay for shit. Spend a whole bunch of time chasing you around, pandering to you to maybe get some substandard clunge. As I said, any of these women, a lot of the time, guys think they're going to get a magical clunge because for them, because perception is different for every man, but for them, that's the hottest chick they've ever seen. If they get her into bed, it's going to be the best thing ever. Sack of potatoes with a hole drilled in it. That's what you're banging, boys. You're not getting much of a performance there. Guys are going to go for other women. Plain and simple. You're going to get completely dropped. Because when these women have no leverage, which is, in my opinion, the leverage is scarcity. They go for guys who don't have abundance or don't have the opportunities to have abundance to find other women or other opportunities or chase them down. If they don't have that leverage, there's nothing they can do to control a man. There's nothing that they can do. There is no leverage at all. Any man with options cannot be controlled. You'd love it. So this is how to get a simp. That's all this is. All right, let's move to the next one. I'll listen to her bullshit. What I might do, guys, halfway probably, consider subbing to the channel if you're new. Like, comment, share, all that stuff. Hype it if you can, if that button does appear. Just a bit of an announcement as well. I've started up consultations. So based on feedback and emails I've had from a few of you guys who watch me, I've now made it possible to connect with me. So the link is in the video description if you want to book in private conversation. All right, let's go.
And says women do that. Like if you're really convinced about something and you're really confident and even sometimes arrogant about it, people will believe you. But this is the effect that... Next, we have men respect standards, not sacrifices. Every time as a woman you overgive to prove your love, which women do constantly. Okay, women have a tendency to think that sacrificing yourself is proving your love. You lower.
Maybe to Chad. Maybe to go. What are they actually sacrificing? I don't understand. Like for the most, what are they giving you money? Are they investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a home for you to live in? Like I don't understand what they do. They're sacrificing nothing. It's a bit of time and a bit of effort and a bit of clunge, if they want to call that a sacrifice. They sacrifice zero. It's just emotional labor. Yeah, that word, we all hate it. That emotional labor they create for themselves by turning them inside out, chasing dudes who are never going to commit. So she's trying to say this is more or less how to herd, how to corral, how to manipulate a Chad to maybe like you. It's impossible. It's impossible. You can't do it.
Or your perceived value in that case. Men don't think like that. They don't think that they have to sacrifice to prove their love. Men don't fall for women who bend over backwards for them. They fall for women who make them rise up. Oh, if I sacrifice myself, if I do this for him and this for him, then he will do that in return for me. If I give him a compliment, he will give me a compliment. If I buy him something, then he will buy me a gift. That is not how it works, ladies. For him to do things for you, for him to compliment you, to offer you gifts, to cherish you, to call you, like, it has to come from him because he's so irresistibly addicted to your feminine energy that he cannot help but to want to make you happy, want to see you, and want to cherish you and spoil you.
Oh gosh, doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound great? I don't know what kind of guy is signing up for that, but let's talk about this. Say, for whatever reason, there is a magic man out there who is super Chad, who is also going to do these things. I don't think he exists. But say he does do it. You get into a relationship with her, so you've bent over backwards. You've been obsessed with her. You've done every little date suggestion she's wanted. You've bought her little gifts. You've had monthly anniversaries, all that sort of bullshit over the top stuff. Then what happens? Once she gets the guy, and maybe you might take your foot off the pedal a little bit with all this love and lavishing attention and all that, guess what? You're gone. Dropped. These are the kinds of women who stay single for their whole life because they live in a fantasy of what men are going to do for them. And they listen to this rubbish and thinks it's real. That's like me saying, all right, boys, all right, you need to withhold any attention from women and they're all going to come and just suck you off. It is going to be double fisting galore. You just listen to me, guys. You need to put yourself out there as a man of abundance, and they're going to come to your doorstep, knock on a door, and suck your knob. Like it's just complete garbage, isn't it? As I said, she's got courses. She's selling courses. Oh, it's just... Anyway, there's a market for everything out there. Let's move on and not listen to her shit. The next one, men are indecisive.
If he's unsure about you, he already made his decision. Indecision is a decision. I see so many women making
spot on.
A ton of excuses for the bad behavior of men. If he is indecisive, he's not claiming you, he's not organizing dates, he doesn't want to see you, he's inconsistent, he's not choosing you. So many women will make excuses. Oh, he's busy. Oh, he has work to do. Oh, that's because he's emotionally unavailable because of his childhood and blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's because he is shy. Right, that's because he's shy. No, when he's indecisive, he already made his decision about you. But he enjoyed your presence enough to keep you around, But don't think that having the attention of a man is incredible. It is not. They give attention to everyone. Next hard truth.
So hang on. Her whole video today is how to get attention and to manipulate men. But on the other hand, right, in the same breath, she's saying it doesn't mean anything. It means everything to women. Attention of men, especially men they like, that is everything. That is their oxygen. That's why these creators exist. Women want attention from men. Why do you think women dress a certain way? They want attention from men. What are they talking about? Absolutely garbage. I'm going to say she was on point with one of the things she said is if a guy hasn't picked a woman or is sort of coming across as emotionally unavailable, which I always say, guys, is a compliment because you're risk averse. You're smart. You know that most of them are useless. They're going to give you nothing but a headache down the line. And not on the head of your knob. They're going to create a lot of stress for you. Let's be real. She just tells on herself, if these men are not picking They are blatantly, more or less, juggling a number of them like her. If he's cautious, okay, okay, let's just talk about this glaring red flag that this person is, or this character that she's playing. I don't believe this is what should be like when the camera is off, walking around and carrying on like this. Okay. Why would you not be cautious interacting with someone like this who only wants you, blatantly wants you for the things you're going to do for her? And you're only getting a look in or a foot in the door because you've agreed to take her on. You'll get us on the dating apps, women suggesting certain dates or certain restaurants and places. Oh, I'm thinking about this place or this place or this place. What do you think? Would you take me to one of those places? I think that'll be nice. And the guys that are stupid and saying yes to that, they're only there because the guy said yes to take her out for a $200 dinner. What is not to be cautious about? You're going to get ripped off. You already are being ripped off.
They'll play house with you for years and then marry someone else 6 months later. It's not about time most of the time, it's about identity, and most men know very quickly if they want to marry you. So if you're years after years after years after years with someone, and I had a client like that, she was for 8 years with a man, they weren't even living together. I was like, he's just making you lose your time. He's just taking your time, taking your feminine energy, taking your body for nothing.
That's it. It's all a transaction. There we go. That's what we've nailed it down to, and that's not a surprise. Any guy who's been through divorce court would tell you it's all about money in the end. I've been called cynical. I've been told life isn't about money. Yep, you wait and see. You wait and see what happens when you're going to that family court office, or you're in the actual courtroom itself, and you're being dragged, cheeks spread open, no lube, no coconut oil, fist going up there, pulling your wallet out through your ass. Yeah, you tell me it's not about money then. Why do you think there's such a big multi-billion-dollar, trillion dollars of industry around it? Right? Family lawyers dealing with divorce disputes. Why do you think there is such a glaring, booming industry that's never going to go away? Because it's all about money. That's it. So this is what you're going to get, especially, I'm going to say 30 plus. I noticed it exceedingly, it was over the top, more or less, women trying to speed run you into commitments. Speed run you. I'm talking, you've only gone out on a few dates with them, a couple of weeks. They want to know what you are. They want to know where your head's at. Are you dating with intent? Are you looking to have a family? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, hang on, don't even know you. Known you for 2 weeks. You could be a complete nutcase, which most of them are. And I'm talking about women on dating apps. Absolutely mental, batshit crazy. Majority of them, 30 plus, that are still there. They're there for a reason. Especially if attractive. So let's talk about that other point. She made a point around men will go out with a woman for a very long time, but then marry another woman very quickly. You do hear about that, and women try to theorize. It's a taxi cab theory. You're the perfect, most beautiful, well put together woman, but he broke up with you, and then all of a sudden he's run off with some chick with no value at all and married her. Biggest cope I've ever heard. The guy didn't want to commit. He strung you along for as long as possible. You've probably given him the ultimatum. The thing's blown up. He's met another woman who played her cards right, which isn't this high sales pressure tactics. So I don't understand about these women. You're going to experience them a lot, 30 plus, high pressure sales. They're trying to close the deal. They're trying to close it quick. They'll sell you the dream. They're trying to close. That's what you need to be really careful of. That's what these women are teaching. Why does that guy go, if he's dumb enough, to marry a woman within 6 months after having an 8-year girlfriend? Because he's realised that chick that he was with was a complete waste of time, waste of effort, waste of money, source of frustration. And this other one, he's seen, hey, hang on. It can be good. I'm getting something out of this. Boom. Straight up, made a decision, done it. Yeah, a lot of guys do this. Would I recommend it? No. But it happens, and then women can't understand why. Because you'll see you next Tuesday. You're a nagging, as I said, ultimatums. Putting sales pressure on. Classic. All right, let's move on.
Truth, a man will only change if losing you feels more painful than changing. Nagging doesn't work, ladies, as I said. It's completely useless. You appear like his mother. you are like this annoying energy
Yep.
that it's not sex. But a man would only evolve if your absence forces him to. That's why I say it's the power, the ultimate power of the femme fatale is for her to be able to walk away. This is why
The femme fatale. So what's she saying? She's saying act. She's saying not nag. This is an act. This is the chameleon. This is the ambassador. This is somebody who's playing games for thirsty dudes. As I said, anyone who knows what women are like, they're not falling for this shit. If anything, it's going to repulse him. He's going to run 100 miles away. He might try and get some clunge. He might lie. These are the ones I suggest if you identify them like this. Do the Skynet. You know exactly what they want. You know exactly what they want to get out of the interaction. Lead with that. Bullshit them. Get your action. Dump their ass. I fully support that with these kinds. Absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Be enough for a man who is not enough for himself. A man that is very insecure, a lot of fears, and a lack of purpose will have a big impact on your relationship. No amount of love will fix this. Okay, if a man has no purpose in life, if he's very insecure, if he complains a lot about his work, like I hate my work, I hate what I'm doing, this is a red flag, ladies. His internal war is becoming your emotional pain in that case. Maybe he has no purpose. Maybe he feels insecure in front of you because he knows that you can do better. I have a friend and she's dating men in Paris. And let me tell you, men in Paris have a certain way of being with women. I don't want to generalize, obviously you have some exceptions, but
fantasy world.
Sometimes I'm like, what is going on? They really are master at nagging. Do you know, like nagging a woman? So making her feel insecure so that he can have the control on her, because in reality they feel insecure in front of her.
Okay.
And this is so crazy. It's like
Negging becomes easy. And look, I don't suggest do it on purpose. I mean, just backhand compliments every now and again, like have that in your personality. Some guys just can do it naturally, right? Good old banter. That's all that is. It isn't worshipping women. Women will say you're negging me because you're not falling at their feet and waving your arms up and down and saying, oh, I'm not worthy of you. What do they have to offer? I'm going to be really ruthless here. What does 95% of them have to offer that isn't related to sex? Because women like this, if she didn't have a vagina or a set of tits, right, you'd throw rocks at it. Like, there's no use. You'd stack her up 50 high at the rubbish dump. What are you going to get? Nothing. They're trying to make out like they got all this value and the guy should be lucky to be there. These women are latching onto men like parasites. The man has all the value. She's only there as a succubus, right, sucking a guy in, thinking that he's won something. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. And I know this woman's extreme. I know she's playing a character, even though she's trying to pretend like this is her she really is. I have come across women who more or less share these sentiments in real life. Couldn't be any more delusional, and they're about, I think they're still single. I haven't really kept up with them. But they'll be early 40s. I think they're still out there dating. Yeah, how's that going for it? How's that going for you? Fucking bonkers. Negging. But what is she saying? So what did she say before is another thing I like to talk about. Even like, she said guys complaining about work or letting them know any concerns you might have. Women will say, I want to hear, what's going on. You seem a bit absent-minded. You're looking out the window. You're being quiet. What's going through your head? I want to hear it. You can tell me anything. This is a safe space. You start saying shit, they completely switch off. Regardless of how much they say they won't, or even if you do tell them something and say, well, this is exactly why I haven't told you anything, because you've given me a non-reaction. You look like your eyes have glazed over. They go, no. They're just not built that way. It turns them off because they want to feel like all their issues are going to be covered by you. They don't want to feel that you as the man has things going on with you. They're going to make you less stable and able to provide and give them what they need. That's why I never tell them shit. Never tell them anything. People can say, that's toxic masculinity. No, it's just smart. Tell friends, if you've got some really good close friends you can talk to them. Pay someone to talk to them. Don't tell your girlfriend. Don't tell your wife or women you're dating that you're struggling with certain things. As you said, doesn't want it. It's bad energy.
with you. Next, we have men often prioritize comfort over caregiving in relationships. If your presence becomes kind of a comfort zone without the responsibilities, so he doesn't have to do much, he'll stay for convenience, not necessarily for commitment. A man will really treat you like a queen because he's required to. Sometimes you need to require certain things for him to step up and really cherish you, because men otherwise stay in their comfort zone. They conserve their energy. Providing, protecting, being masculine, it requires a lot of energy. So it's either they give, or they conserve their energy. And if you're constantly just people pleasing, not asking for anything, and just being so nice, so kind, so accommodating,
then the guy will probably love you very much. If you're demanding shit, let me guess he's going to love you more.
Why would he give? There's nothing that requires him to, so he's gonna conserve his energy. I did a video about this actually. The difference between men who drain your feminine energy and the men that nourish your feminine energy. I will link it below. This is very important to know. You just let him take your time, and
It's just Sex in the City. She's got Sex in the City clip. That has to say it all, doesn't it? Once again, I want to see how this woman turns out in 15 years. And see if the same games are still working. Said Grifter, I'm sure she doesn't do any of this shit. What guy goes, you know what? I want a girl who makes me feel like I have to keep spending money on her. I don't want a quiet or easy to be around. Quiet's not the word. Easy to be around, someone who has good energy and we have fun together, who doesn't nag or complain about everything. No, I don't want that. No, I want someone who makes me feel like I've got to keep giving money. Otherwise, they're gone. Yeah, that's what I want. I want a challenge, because men apparently, they love challenges, and I love to be challenged by women. I love to spend all my money on them. Mental.
Men' emotional and physical needs are interconnected. Intimacy isn't just about sex for them. It is how they feel validated. They feel like a man, they feel desired, and in reality, they seek for connection. They don't just seek for sex, they seek for deep connection. That is why when you see some men going with escorts, for example, those escorts would say that some men want to talk, they would want to cuddle, they would want her to spend time with him, right? So it's not just about the physical act, it's how they see intimacy, it's how they see they're connected with someone. So that is why they take it so deeply if a woman doesn't want to be intimate with them anymore, or like in a marriage where you have those kinds of issues, they take it really...
Which is the majority of issues. Yeah, sorry. The one thing you sign up for, i.e. intimacy and getting some action, you're not getting that and you're paying. Of course you're going to be pissed off. That's why guys get pissed off when they go to hookers and they cheat and they do all sorts of things.
Badly, and it touched their self-esteem. Men often interpret nagging as criticizing.
Yeah.
You think you're being helpful, right? You think you're just being helpful, you just give your opinion, you're just helping him, right? But what he hears instead is, I am not good enough. They have the biggest fear of not being good enough, especially in front of the woman they love. They're very sensitive, and their ego is sensitive to that.
Gosh, he's just got it all wrong. You couldn't think of anybody who's got everything backwards. Men do not want to be criticised and nagged because it's annoying. We have enough things on our plate. We're running businesses, we're working in stressful jobs, we're trying to keep housing over the family's head, or pay for housing, or save and get, ahead in life. We're tired. When we have spare time, when we come home from work, we don't want to be nagged and criticised. Unfortunately, that's what you get with most women when you live with them. You're going to be nagged. It's going to be different varying levels depending on who you get. But you're going to be criticised in just about everything, and it only happens after a few years. But they'll criticise every little thing you do, review everything you do, tell you how to do something the right way, even though they've never done it before. You're going to hear this shit. That's what you get, guys. Why do we like it? It's fucking annoying. Right? There's nothing sexy about it. And for the most part, when men get nagged, it makes you resentful because you start thinking the woman is an idiot, complaining about shit that are non-issues and having a go at you about the most small things. You lose attraction to her because she's been a harpy.
Men have a very hard time being alone. that is something that I noticed a lot. A lot of women have no problem being single.
You are joking.
Men have big problem being single. Many jump into a new connection.
You are joking.
Not out of love, but out of fear of being alone. I kind of have an idea of why. It is because men, as I said, are not emotional. They're not allowed to show their emotions in the world. They have to be tough all the time. They have to be competent. They have to be useful. They have to be strong, right? They have to showcase strength and masculinity. And the only person they can be vulnerable with is literally their partner. And
you actually can't. That's the biggest lie you're ever told. Not for the reasons that I told you earlier. No, I'm going to have to say there are men that are very clingy. They're like Calvins. They can never be alone. They always got to have some girl or some girlfriend there. They don't feel like their life has any meaning if they don't have a girl. I know guys just like that. But to say that a man is less happy alone and that a woman is more happy alone is complete hamstering. That's not true at all. Why do you think women have mental breakdowns on TikTok and YouTube, and they got podcasts because they can't get men and all this sort of shit, and giving dating advice to women who are going and dating chads and all this sort of stuff and getting used up and banged? Because they desperately want to have a man. Desperately want to have a man. Women are always looking for men. They never stop looking. I've made hundreds of these videos. They never stop looking. They could be 60, 70, 80 years old. They're still looking to have a man in their life, a relationship. Women always want relationships. Yes, some men don't want to be alone. I'll say men accept things for what they are and don't pursue or chase women anymore. A lot more than maybe a woman might. Because not every person's supposed to be with someone. That's it. I think majority of people are not made to literally be with people long term. You just, suffer each other for long periods of time. Men are more willing to accept that. To have hobbies, to fill their days with other things, as opposed to thinking about women the whole day and trying to get dates and shit like that and find wives. Completely backwards. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let's quickly watch the last couple of things here. I don't want to go too long. But this woman, she probably couldn't be more wrong. I think she's talking about a particular kind of guy. If this is her target market, guys who may have money to spend but have no self-confidence or any awareness of women in any way and can be manipulated easily by women using these tactics on them. That's the men she's talking about. Any guys like, they're not putting up with any of this shit. It does not work.
Everything men do is either to have a woman or to keep a woman. Men's career, appearance, cars, motivation is often influenced by this desire. The feminine is the motivation, it's the inspiration to the masculine. Okay, if women did not exist, men would just do nothing, right? They would not chase status and money and all of those things. They would just be like eating pizza and playing video games with their friends and not.
What a complete moron. The reason why a lot of men don't reach their full potential is because of women. Women nagging them. Women want safety and security. Men not taking risks, chasing dreams. I don't know what they're talking about. Everything in this world has been created by men, for the most part. And that's not being misogynist. That is truth. And it isn't to get a root. It isn't to get some clunge. The most successful inventors, for the most part, stayed away from women. The most smartest philosophers stayed away from them. So whatever she's saying is complete. It's just what she thinks. Classic. Let's listen. I'm gonna watch her final harsh truth. And then we'll leave it there. I don't want to give you guys any more brain damage.
Truth. Men who are good for you don't need convincing. And men who are bad for you cannot be convinced. The right man will meet you where you are. You will need to beg. You will need to over-explain.
I'm going to leave it there. Simps will meet her where she is. Bad men, i.e. us, Steve O'Brice's, Chads, Dinos, Huangs, whatever you want to say, with that mindset. Isn't always just physical. It's with the mindset. You're the bad man. You're emotionally unavailable. They're bad. They're the ones they fuck. Anyway, see you later, guys. See you in the next video.